Oh my gosh, there's one. And I've got one. Oh my gosh, holy cow. I watched him wake across the entire opening. Y'all, this is crazy. Well, what's going on, folks? Welcome back to the 200 Pond series. My name is Tyler. I'm the host of this series, and as the name would imply, I'm fishing 200 different ponds for bass, not just across the country, but all across the world, to teach you guys everything I learned along the way. So if you're interested in following along, hit that subscribe button. Now, in this series, I try to teach you guys to take advantage of the best bite window during the day that you possibly can, and at least for me in the South where I live, that is usually in the summertime, early morning. I mean, when the sun is just rising, that's when the topwater bite is most effective, and when the at least catchable shallow fish are shallowest and most catchable. But I'm sure for many of y'all out there, getting to the pond at that sunrise time of the day every single time you go fishing is just not in the cards. Maybe you have work at a certain time, and so you get a lunch break off to fish, or you gotta drop the kids off to school or daycare, and then the sun's already been up for an hour and a half. That's your fishing time. And so I wanted today to make a video that more closely associates with probably the majority of anglers that watch this series. And so I didn't get here till 9:30. And yet it's still perfectly cloudy and almost no wind. I can't make this up. So as much as I wanted to film a video where I have to really grind to catch some fish, I feel like the bite will still be relatively good up shallow today, especially at the pond we're at. We're gonna talk about conditions here in a second, but I'm gonna get out my favorite topwater frog to start, and then my soft plastic rod to put on, you guessed it, the skunk buster. Even though, again, with the conditions, I'm not sure if we're gonna need a skunk buster, seeing what this pond looks like. I actually shot the drone shot for the first time before I went fishing, so I've kind of got a good lay of the land. And I've got my Evolution tackle bag full of stuff. As always, code TRF 2025 saves you 20% on your entire order. I helped design this bag. It's the Largemouth 3.0. It's super sick. I'll leave some B-roll on the screen right here of some of the promo shots we got with it. It's been so humbling to see you guys rock this bag at your local pond. So again, I'll leave a link down in the video description. But enough talking. Let's get down to pond number 124. Now, as I walk y'all down to the water here to discuss the conditions of this pond, the first thing you'll notice is that the water is absolutely crystal clear. I see bluegill there, and there. I hear bluegill popping in the grass over there, and popping means they're feeding on the surface on bugs or plankton or whatever bluegill eat. And just in the 1 minute I've been standing here, I've seen a bass explode over there, and I've seen a bass cruise right there. So I really think I stumbled upon a pretty good pond. And the first lure I'm gonna throw, that if you follow the channel is absolutely no surprise given the conditions we have with the aquatic vegetation, is a topwater frog. I like a little popping frog just so I can give it some more action in the open water around the grass. But as you can see here from the drone shot, one half of this pond is very shallow grass, and where the community dock is separates what looks like the deep water from the shallow. And so I'm guessing my lure selection and strategy will have to be much different in that open water than it will be here in the shallows. But you can see we've got some openings in the grass, we've got some ditches, some channels. And I think if I start here by making some long casts over the grass, I may get fish to come explode through it, or when my frog gets to the openings, that's where some of these fish may eat. But man, given how clear the water is, I'm not so sure the whitish color on the bottom of my frog is the best. I probably want more of a bluegill color. Although now that I think about it, the bottom of a bluegill is kind of whitish, so it should work. Ooh, we gotta wake, we gotta wake. Pop, pop. Oh, he waked on it and did not want to eat it. And since I know a bass is there now, I'm gonna get the skunk buster, AKA Strike King Caffeine Shad in watermelon red. And while rigging this bait, I actually put a nail weight for the first time, kind of in the front to center of it, to A, increase casting distance because it's pretty light, but B, I wanted to see how it looks in the water falling, almost like a belly weight, but not on the shank of the hook. And man, when I twitch it and let it fall, that looks pretty good. Cast it to the edge of the grass, twitch it a few times and let it sink. Give that fish the most bluegill looking thing you can. No, not a bass, not a bass. Got excited. But the more I walk around this pond, I mean, it is a very diverse ecosystem. We have shallow water, we've got deep water, we've got shallow American pondweed, we've got milfoil that reaches a little bit further out, and there's a rock face, there's an island. I mean, for a neighborhood pond, this is diverse. Yeah. Oh my gosh, there's one. Holy cow. What an aggressive strike that was. My gosh. I'm not entirely sure if I've seen a largemouth bass attack with that much energy ever. The way this bass came out of the water for it, I honestly thought it was a bowfin for a second. And I was like, there's no way we have bowfin in North Texas. But it's a bass. And despite coming at it so fast, he got it down the gullet. So sometimes, man, if they want the frog, they're just gonna get it, no matter how fast or slow they're moving. And that's a fun way to start. Pond 124. Thank you, buddy. I was really thinking topwater was not gonna be the deal, and you know what, it might not be in the grand scheme of things, but when you have grass like this, especially a pond that probably doesn't have just 4 bass in it, probably a few hundred fish in this pond, the population's high enough, you can force a topwater bite to happen, and I'm gonna do that every time if I can. Or at least I'm always gonna give it a try. And I'll tell you one thing, or I guess 2 things. The rod and reel I was throwing, the high speed gear ratio 7.5 to 1 and the 7.3 heavy helped me catch up to that fish and get a good hook set. And the 50-pound braid was necessary to get him out of all this slop. On a 7-foot medium light spinning rod with 10-pound fluorocarbon, I would not have caught that bass, I promise you. And that's not a pitch to get you to buy a product. It's a pitch to tell you guys you've got to be well equipped for the situation you are fishing. And some things you can get away with throwing the wrong gear. A frog with aggressive fish in shallow matted grass is not one of those situations. But with 5 or 6 casts done in that area and 1 fish drug out, frog's going down, I'm gonna get the caffeine shad in that hole and then we'll move on. But that is a success. Oh, there's one. Oh yes, open hole, caffeine shad, get in here, baby. Just barely twitching it. Are you bigger? Are you big? No, you just got a whole bunch of grass. Come on, brothers and sisters. This pond's got some bass in it. And look at all that healthy aquatic vegetation. That's how you can tell a pond has got some good qualities, when it's got good milfoil like that. And I didn't even feel the bite on that one. I just pulled up and he was running with it. So glad to have a good sensitive rod that I could feel the fish moving. Ooh, and as I'm re-rigging this, I see about a 1-pound largemouth chilling in a grass hole right over here. Probably need a new caffeine shad. It kind of got tore, but I'm gonna make this flip happen here. That was not a good cast at all. There we go. Oh, and he turned the other way. What a little sneaker. F in the chat. I don't know if he saw me or if the 3 bad casts I made before that one were the reason he didn't turn and eat, but sometimes them shallow, clear water ones are tricky. All right, nail weight going in. The closest to the head that I can was still giving myself room to rig the hook. Don't even know it's there. Except y'all do, because I just showed you. 2/0 VMC hybrid wide gap hook, the Red Line series, my favorite hooks ever. Y'all know the drill. All my tackle is linked down in the video description. So if you want to support your boy, shop on Tackle Warehouse for literally anything using those links. It could be you enter the site through the Caffeine Shad and you buy a different brand's product. Fine by me. If you're using the link, it is helping my family continue to make a living doing this. So that'd be super sick. I got another one. Oh no, ow. Must have been a bluegill. I probably got to do a better job of when I see my bait running away from me, of not just swinging on him, but actually feeling like, is that a bass or is that a bluegill? Like what's the level of pullback this fish is providing? Because in that case, it was obviously a gill and I shouldn't have swung. There's another one. Oh my gosh, I popped it off the grass and I felt my rod tip just go tick. Slowly pull, only got 15-pound fluoro on here, so I don't need to winch them through. And once they get a bunch of grass over their eyes, they're relatively tame the rest of the fight. And you, my friend, are the smallest one of the day, but it's obvious to me they are chilling in the holes in the grass and they are wanting to eat bluegill just like it looks like on the shore. I don't see a single piece of bait fish, just gills. And in that case, I feel like the G-Flag 150 bluegill glide bait could be a good way to catch them, but I only try to pull that thing out when I really need to. Because A, it's $60, and B, I'm catching them just fine without it. And it's funny, I just fished there with the frog and the skunk buster, what, 10 minutes ago and didn't get a bite, and then I threw back there just now and I did. So these fish, as bluegill eaters do, are just kind of cycling through these areas. And so just because you fish an area or somebody on the pond you're fishing with just fished an area doesn't mean you can't make a cast there and catch one. A fish could come in that area. Let's get a few more casts way out to the hole. I got the frog fish on. And I've got one, oh my gosh, holy cow. I watched him wake across the entire opening. Y'all, this is crazy. Another long, aggressive one. Goodness. Get up in here. Whoa, biggest one of the day. Just a healthy Texas. I'm talking long. That's like a 17-inch, 18-inch pond, largie. Oh, big sad. He threw my whole caffeine shad. So there goes my nail weight. But what a stinking pond, man. I literally found this one on the map last night had never come here before, expected to have a little bit tougher time being that it's not early morning, but these fish are still eating. And even if I was at a pond that had a whole lot less good looking stuff in the water, no grass, dirty water, I'd still be throwing the skunk buster, probably not with as much success, but the strategy remains the same. And I don't know if I need a nail weight, but it definitely helps with casting distance, so I'm gonna go back to the truck and get one. Question is, do I have any more just poke in nail weights and not the screw kind? And I don't think I do. So I guess I'm gonna have to screw one into the bottom, which is definitely not the preferred way. I'm probably gonna lose this, matter of fact. Yeah, there's no way. I have no idea where to even put this. I've never been one to really put nail weights in a fluke, so I probably need to invest in some more cheap ones, because these tungsten screw ones are not cheap. Well, we'll see how long that lasts for. Oh no. I hit my tripod on the backswing of the cast and literally lost my nail weight before it even touched the water. All right, I guess weightless is gonna be how we're gonna have to go. This would not be the first time I'm unprepared. No, keep going, keep going. Good, good, good. Kiss that spot goodbye. Gosh, I cannot cast this thing nearly as far. I've got to get a belly weighted hook. This is not going to work. Because many times casting distance is not really what I'm worried about with the caffeine shad. I can make a good enough long cast, but when you've got to hit very specific targets in between grass clumps, I want to make sure I have the best possible setup, and a weightless 4-inch one, not the best for this. Like, I would much rather go weightless, but I just can't get it there accurately. So 2-aught red line, I'll see you later. Let's put you back on your hook keeper though. Something cool every VMC red line hook comes with is a little keeper, just like the weedless wacky hooks here. But this right here is a little more my speed today. Maybe I should have just rigged this hook from the beginning. Hook is a little bit big, but it still works. And the truck has been close to where I'm fishing, but I'm about to head to the other side of the pond. So gonna bring the tackle bag with me, as well as the nut Neko rig. Because I feel like in that open water deep section, this may catch me a deep water early summer giant. But before we get to the deeper water, I do have one more little shallow section to fish. Starting again with the frog, because why not? And you just gotta think with how long this pond has been here for, how good the aquatic vegetation, really the ecosystem is, and the abundance of bluegill. There's gotta be some like 6, 7, 8, 10 pounders in here. Are they the type that get big perusing the shallows eating bluegill? Probably not. They're probably eating the bluegill that are chilling off the edge, or the crappie, or whatever's out there. I've got a feeling if I launched my kayak in here this fall or winter, I'd find the big ones out there. So comment below if you'd like to see me do that. Let me get the caffeine shad. Wow, yeah, for sure the ones that you can see are not the catchable ones. Bass are exhibiting these exact same behaviors, cruising around the shallows looking for bluegill, but you gotta make far casts to catch those. I've said it before and I'll say it again. That's the biggest thing when it comes to clear water cruising fish that I'm sure many of you guys struggle to catch. Key is, don't try to catch the ones you can actually see. Make far casts to other areas they may be, and your chances exponentially rise of catching the same kind of fish. They're just further out. All right, back to the frog. If I don't catch one here on this cast, I'm gonna be shocked. Oh my gosh, I had a bite as I said that. All right, here's my chance to call my shot. I'm gonna catch one in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sploosh, come on now. 3, 2, 1. Attack. 2, 1. Johnny, I'm not gonna say it again. I will not be that kind of dad at the grocery store counting down for my kid. You've got 3 seconds, Jimmy, before I get out the spoon. There we go. That was the one that bit about 5 minutes ago. The one that I tried to count down the bite for. We got him, and he is a single scoop. Kind of had a feeling that's the size he'd be. But thank you, buddy, for eating again. What a chunky fish. There's gotta be some big old lunker chunguses in here. But the one thing I've consistently seen in every single bite I've had is the bites come in the open. Bass will get underneath that cover at times during the summer when it gets hotter, but right now these fish are keyed in on the bluegill, and the bluegill are out in the open. They're not underneath the mat. So as soon as the bluegill get there, the bass will as well, and the frog over the top and punching bite on this kind of stuff will get better. But as of right now, bass are still keying in on the openings around the grass. So that's where I'm gonna target the remainder of my casts until we get to open water here. Yeah, let's keep moving. And what is this? Someone left their Storm Wild Ice Swim Shad package. Come on, people, pick up your trash. I've had mud on my face. Y'all didn't tell me? Gosh, my public image may never recover. All right, a few more bombs with the frog. Yeah. Oh yeah. There we go, baby. Well, had high hopes for the frog, but I think we're about done throwing it because we have made it to the dock. It is here I will catch my lunker, and I'm just going straight to busting my skunk. I feel like slowly twitching this thing in the deeper open water. I mean, yet to be seen how deep it is way out there. I mean, judging by the grade of the bank over there, y'all see from the drone shot, I mean, it's a 90-degree bank. It's probably 15, 20 feet out there. So working this thing in the Nico rig, slow, slow, slow on the bottom is probably gonna be the ticket to Lunkerville. All aboard. Oh, I've got one. One was running with it. Do I still have him? Yeah, I do. Oh my goodness. My brother, you're a half scoop. I kept pulling up and I was like, why is my bait 3 feet that way every time? It's because I had a singular scoop, or I would say a half scoop actually. You'll see that? I threw him up and caught him in the ice cream cone. That's impressive.
Oh my God, he on X Games mode.
Worth a subscribe, I might add. But even though this pond has obviously a lot of fish in it, if your pond is lacking in fish, I will beat this horse till it's dead in the face, throw this thing. It not only busts my skunk at many ponds where I'm struggling just to get a bite at all, but it also gives me tons of really, really fun days in the post-spawn to fall time period. I'm just sitting here waiting on my fish to bite. Sometimes I throw it weightless, and sometimes I throw it weighted. So I'll keep waiting on the bass to strike. Catch me on tour this fall. I'm gonna make a few casts parallel kind of down this grass edge. Obviously you can see on the drone shot there is a grass edge on the deep side, but it slopes off pretty dang quick. So that's how you can tell if the bottom is deeper or shallower. Does the grass continue to grow to the surface? And if not, obviously on a straight harsh line, you know it's probably a straight harsh drop. Go as parallel as I can here. All right, no bites to be had on the edge. I'm gonna make one more cast a little bit deeper and then pick up the Nico. And if you watch my recent kayak episode from Caddo Lake with Greg Blanchard, I threw this exact setup right here. Got him, oh my gosh. Ooh, that feels big. That feels big, that feels big. That's big, that's big, that's big. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Holy cow, holy cow, holy cow, holy cow. Do not go back in there, do not go back in there. Do not go back in there. Yo, my gosh, what a way to end. The Mach stick, 4 3/4 inch bait, little Nico weight in the tail, and of course, weedless wacky hook from VMC. And I really like the setup. I just feel like it fishes that mid to deep water column just better than a wacky worm, better than a weightless caffeine shad. I just gained a lot of confidence in the Nico rig lately. And really at this point, I'm just going for one more bite, hopefully making it a big one. Today has been, of course, a technical success. I caught one bass. That's the metric for success on this entire series. At every pond I fish, I did that 7 times today. But I really think if the bite not only slowed down in the shallows, I'm seeing less action, less bluegills being blown up on than I was 2 hours ago, that those fish have probably moved into this deeper section, and the bigger ones, if they're in here, have been here the whole time. So I may not catch one the entire rest of the day, but I feel like fishing deep is my best chance at getting a good thumbnail fish. Oh, I've got one. Oh, I've got one. Yes, sir. And it feels bigger. Come on, get in here. Oh, I knew dragging around a Nico would eventually lead to a nice one. Get up the bank. Get in here. Yes, sir. Not the biggest one of the day. And I lost the Nico in the process, but look at that. Over the last 10 minutes, I've made casts to the corner here and then progressively deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And I didn't get a single bite. Matter of fact, I didn't feel any kind of rocks down there or aquatic vegetation. And so I said, you know what? I want to make one more cast back to the corner, which is still deeper. I counted down, it is 8 feet right there, but at least there's some lay down trees like the one that broke off right here from a storm. There's something in the water out there. And so a corner with a lay down brush pile and some grass in deeper water in the summertime, all those things stacked together to make a good habitat for a bass. So thank you, buddy. And a 10 on the dismount. And you know what, folks? I am getting hungry. I'm getting thirsty. I didn't bring chapsticks, so my lips are hurting. And I successfully proved there are bass to be caught shallow on my favorite techniques this time of year, and there's a few to be caught deep. I think two things I could try if I stayed here. Surprisingly, a deep diving crankbait. I think it's like 10 to 15 feet out here, and so with how steep the grade is, I actually could throw a deep crank, but I really think what catches the giant that lives in here is a big, soft plastic swim bait. I'm thinking like the working class Zero Citizen or the Tyrant, just slow crawled across the bottom, kind of Huddleston style. I think that could catch the giant in here, but that is a task for another day. We're gonna get back to the truck. Well, thank y'all so much for watching this episode of the 200 Pond series. I had a blast. Hopefully you did as well. As always, my tackle is linked down below. And if you want to watch the entire 200 Pond series, matter of fact, and 100 Pond series, because I fished 100 before this one, I will have both of those clickable links up here in the corner. These three combos here have become my go-tos for pond fishing. My topwater frog bait rod, 7.3 heavy, my 7-foot medium heavy, honestly, that kind of runs a little bit light for vibrating jigs and soft plastics. And then my classic spinning reel, the custom light shallow spool with the Signature Series rod. I'm in love with this thing. I would buy it over and over and over again. So my name's Tyler. As always, it is a pleasure, and we'll see y'all next time on 200 Ponds from the great state of Minnesota.